Let's bring in Jamil Jaffer, founder and executive director of the National Security Institute at George Washington University Law School. Thank you so much for joining us bright and early this morning. So the DOJ and others are obviously investigating. This is damaging. Some of these documents show the extent the U.S. spies on its allies, and there's human intelligence here, sources and methods. How much damage, in your view, has been done here?
Well, Christine, it's hard to know the exact amount of damage, but what we can tell certainly is that our adversaries are learning a lot about what we know about them and what they're doing, about what we think of the war in Ukraine, about our supplies of weapons to the war in Ukraine, to the Ukrainian military, and to know what we're assessing in terms of other nations' relationships. So they're learning a lot about our capabilities and about what we know in our analysis of that information.
Obviously, the scramble's on to figure out where these came from. Some of these documents are photographs of documents. You can see that they're creased and folded. In some cases, they're almost crumpled. And you can see around the margins of some of these photographs, other items like Gorilla Glue. Who has access to these kinds of documents? How could this happen?
Well, a lot of folks do have access to these kind of materials. They're available to anybody who has a security clearance at the correct level and, access to the relevant, source, whether it was a briefing book or the like. And so we're not sure exactly where these documents came from. I'm sure the hunt is on right now, both in the intelligence community and the Justice Department, to figure that out. But what we do know is some of these materials, Christine, were created as part of the analysis conducted by the Joint Staff at the Pentagon. That's the team that supports the Joint Chiefs, the heads of every military department in the country, and advises them on the intelligence information they have to make decisions about warfighting going forward.
I mean, game out for me what this means in terms of problems for the intelligence community at this point. And I guess the U.S., the reputation of the United States. I mean, this isn't supposed to happen in the years since Edward Snowden and the big release of classified material that he did.
No, that's exactly right. I mean, look, it can obviously be damaging to our relationship with allies because they understand what we're collecting on them. It'll certainly be damaging to our situation with our adversaries because they're going to know a lot more about what we know and about our analysis of what we know about them. That's a challenge. And of course, it'll undermine our ability to supply Ukrainians with military equipment because it demonstrates in one particular instance how we're thinking about the 155 millimeter howitzer ammunition, a key part of the weaponry that we're providing to the Ukrainian military, about our capabilities to supply it and how much they're getting from where.
Just wild that this was on, a Discord group, where people, then Minecraft, gamers and Minecraft, this has been circulating for months. Clearly, what does that mean about America's ability to, keep its secrets safe?
Well, look, whenever you have folks that have access to classified information, you run the risk that those people will take advantage of that access, will take documents out of a given facility, photograph them, put them on the internet. It's a rare instance when that happens because obviously the penalties are stiff. And these people are all trusted with U.S. government information that, by definition, we've gone through a whole process to vet them. It's not always going to be perfect, but obviously this kind of revelation can be damaging to our national security and our foreign policy.
All right. Yeah, the investigation is just now underway. Jamil Jaffer, thank you so much. Nice to see you this morning.